Okay, guys. So let's address the point. Web analytics, and I call July 4th, July 1st. In Canada, it's July 1st. In U.S., it's July 4th. I call the holiday, so I'm still in my pajamas. As you can see, I just shared that I rearranged my home office. It looks a lot cozier, right? And apparently it makes an impression on your mind, blah, like Jon Stewart would do, blah. Web analytics. Okay, so if I was doing work for somebody, this would be something I would look into and rectify. But since this is for the culture proof, um, from my own, from the past experience with culture proof, when I say my own, I mean the culture proof experience, is that whether I have 100,000 readers or 20,000 readers or 40 readers, my audience don't seem to care very much. I think the politics, the economics, and the everything else takes a back seat to these Christian movies and these dinosaur movies. Having said that, in my own case, I am blogging. I am not selling advertising, and I am not promising clients, if I had any, which I don't, but I'm not promising, third parties a certain amount of people. So it seems like, the months when I have 100,000 people coming by, or 20,000 or 40 people, it doesn't really make a big impression on the people who come by for those movies and the media and the pop songs and the articles that I share, and this type of original advice and talk doesn't seem to really make an impact on my audience. And I certainly have no advertisers to have to satisfy. So, having said that, I'll give you a good case study of the culture proof. All right. So this month, my Google Analytics, which I put into what they call like one of those what they call container, which is a Google Analytics account manager container thing. I think I implemented it incorrectly, so it picked up about 40 readers. But at the same time, I also have what do I have? I have McAfee. When you go to the culture proof, you see McAfee seal, and I have the free version, which tops out at 1,000 people. And I know for a fact that every month I always go over my free limit of 1,000 people. And yet this month Google Analytics says I only. So obviously I implemented it wrong on my website. When you put it on the HTML code and where to put it and in the CSS and wherever in the header and all that stuff, I obviously did it wrong. And if this was a work environment, I would try to fix it. But since it's just the culture proof blog, I just want to make a point of it. For my own sort of blogging purpose, it doesn't serve anything. Because I so gauge my influence and my likability using other things instead of audience, because like I said, I have no advertisers to guarantee an audience for. You say stuff, 8,000 people read this. If you advertise, at least 20,000 people will see your ad. I don't have any such thing. And so it's professional hobby, but it's not urgent. It's not urgent. So McAfee says I have at least 1,000 people every month, right? And then I use other things to gauge my likability and my influence. And then called Google Analytics account tag or whatever. It's like one tag, and inside that you can put all these other tags. Tags are like snippets of analytics code. So obviously I implemented that wrong, but it's not that urgent to me. I've given up on that game. In the beginning, I was all about that, just fine tuning my website, but it's become that the material, the content, the subjects and stuff are a lot more fun than doing HTML code. So that is, and of course, this is really not proper attire for mass communication either. But that's a case point about web analytics. Don't sweat it. You probably might have implemented your code wrong as well, because other things will tell you that you're still very likable and very influential. Except if you have advertisers, then you have an urgent priority to fix those things, which I don't. See you guys.